All right
Hey,
then.
hey, people.
Set. Um, so, what did you think
Sorry.
about Welcome to the NHK?
It was good. I liked it a lot.
So let's start with the ending then. What did you think of the ending?
Um, apart from Sato's moments of complete insanity, it was all yeah, it was all yeah, it was a good ending.
I see. By the way, like speaking of Sato's madness, in the novels, and I think probably in the manga too, but I'm pretty sure that in the novels, it's supposed to be because he's on drugs. But
Yeah, yeah,
you do know that. Uh, uh,
yeah. Well, I was wondering why like his fridge and like certain characters in his apartments come to life, and the reason for that um is because like basically he's on drugs, right? That's not it's not in the anime. There isn't any drug taking apart from like smoking and alcohol in the anime. It's just sort of it, it's put in there to be like in a sort of stylistic sense, I guess, to sort of narrate his inner monologues and his anxieties, I guess.
so you said that you watched Bob Samurai's review.
I I did, yeah, yeah.
What did Bob say?
Well, he wanted to review the series objectively because I feel like he literally said like it changed my life in the review. So he sort of recognized that he wasn't the most objective of reviewers in that situation. Bob Samurai reviews are really great if you want to get a good plot synopsis and a good feel for the characters and things. What he actually thought. He likes it obviously. He gave it, I think, yeah, yeah. Um, Bob Samurai gave this anime an 8.8 out of 10.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe that answers the question. But yeah, I feel like I would score it a 9. I guess. So slightly higher, but maybe that's because I round up.
What did Bob deduct points for?
Um, Animation like that was yeah. Even I picked up on parts, especially I think it was the latter half of the Ghostwood arc where the animation just sort of falls through a bit and it's not so good. But I've heard that this is just a characteristic of Gonzo the studio.
Yeah, yeah. I've also heard it being said.
Mm.
Um, so I guess one of the criticisms which I've heard about the series is that like a lot of the things which were in the anime were not there in the novel it is based on. So, for example, I think the uh, multi-top marketing, whatever, multi-level marketing pyramid scheme arc was not there, and I think the MMORPG arc was not there. It, and did you feel like that those were kind of inserted into the story? Uh, like
Not really. I guess I didn't notice because it was said that in the middle it gets a little bit episodic. Um,
mm,
it kind of does. So yeah, that's but it's still a continuation. Like I liked the fact that you did find out what the class rep did afterwards, right? Like that was nice, and the stuff with the MMO sort of continue on God continued on into the into later into later episodes. So it's not like it was just inserted in. It was like it was well thought about, and it also makes sense.
Sorry,
In
I didn't
context
hear what.
with the so
Yeah, I think I didn't
which
hear
part
after you
uh,
said about the after you said about the MMO part.
um basically it I thought it fit in well. It did it's I guess it like the flow was sort of broken and it sort of leveled off. Like no real characterization happens at those points, right?
Yeah, I
Like
mean it's
Sato just got worse, right? And then he sort of got better again. And he sort of got back to that base level afterwards.
yeah, I mean it gets a little bit ridiculous. It's like in how many like retarded situations like can he get caught up in
Yeah,
one after the other?
well, with oh sorry, it's not a ghost house, so it's a Mouse Road, isn't it? Mouse Road is the pyramid scheme. He gets trapped, or at least his class rep gets trapped inside. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it is a little bit ridiculous, especially when he goes to call off so along with Yamazaki and oh God, I forgot her name.
Mizaki.
Yeah, yeah, and Mizaki, and then all three of them come back with Mouse Road products. That was. I mean, it was funny, all right. I mean, these extra episodes are entertaining, and so aren't exactly a, a waste of time. But they didn't have to be included. Though
Yeah,
that
person.
being said, I'm not gonna complain that they decided to make the series a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean the novel personally felt a bit too short. But by the way, the author I think has finally run out of money and is going to publish a second volume apparently. So
Oh,
there's more. Yeah, there's more. Welcome to the NHK to look forward to. We'll get to know finally what happened to Sato afterwards. Um, uh, I guess did some of it feel a bit outdated because now it has been a while since this anime has been out, or do you think it's still like for example the type of moe anime or whatever, like I don't see that kind of anime that much anymore, or at least maybe I just don't watch it. So um, I guess does it feel like it's the early 2000s?
oh yeah, but I kind of like that. Where you say outdated, I didn't really get that. I guess the main point of the series um is about the emotions that the characters are going through, and those are like what they feel, what all the characters are going through. Those things aren't outdated, so it's sort of like it's still fun to watch even now. In terms of its of the series showing its age, I quite like those aspects, especially all the Nintendo DS shots, like all the characters just on their Nintendo DSs. That's brings me back to the 2000s. I guess it's um, it's good for nostalgia. Uh, all the dated stuff, and I guess the MMO is also looks dated as well. It looks like RuneScape basically.
Yeah, it does. Do you think that Welcome to the NHK is anti-escapist?
Um, it both is and isn't, right? Because it makes me want to watch it, right? Which is a form of escapism inherently, but it also tells you that a lot of this shit isn't healthy, and you should probably like be in control.
Yeah, I mean, it comes off a little bit hypocritical when fiction tries to be anti-escapist because it is inherently
Yeah,
escapist. But I
which
guess
is yeah, yeah. Sorry.
no. Sorry, carry on.
Well, yeah, it's unavoidable, right? We spoke about this with Evangelion, right? Where it became a anti-escapist piece of media. Later on, I don't actually believe Evangelion was a for most of its life, Eva wasn't anti-escapist, but it became that nearing the end. But it still ran into these problems where it sort of inherently isn't, and you get these contradictions.
What did you think of the comedy?
The comedy was good. I think the comedy actually some of my favorite scenes were the comedy scenes.
Do you think that the comedy got in the way of the serious moments?
No, I don't think so.
Mm. Because like a lot of people like when it comes to anime, like a lot of people like to complain how in anime a lot of the time like you will have like people being serious, but then suddenly you get a comedy gag or I don't know a butt shot, a panty shot or whatever or something like that, and I guess some people find that annoying and like it takes them out of the moment or something. But there wasn't any moment like that in the anime, was there?
Um, I guess you could argue that there was, but the way it was written and I don't know what the animation version of the shot is, but the way it was sort of written is that these things were sort of it was like um I guess welcome to the NHK doesn't suffer from this because it's making commentary about that thing, right? You can show some fan service, but it's sort of referential at the same time and also quite sad or tragic as well. It can sort of pull that um pull that off. If you get what I mean.
Did you find it funny? Did you find it funny when Sato went out to take pictures of elementary school kids?
Yeah, I was very surprised um just how quickly he turned to paedophilia. That was quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things which people have said that was unrealistic when it came to NHK is that Sato is like I think he's 21 years old or something, and like
Yeah, he's 22, right?
22, and he doesn't know about fucking porn on the internet or uh,
Yeah,
and like like it's not like he even had to get a computer or anything. He had the computer, so
mm,
it's a bit weird that like he suddenly found it out and got addicted so quickly.
yeah.
Uh,
All that stuff of him like um downloading like gigabytes of pornography and uh, and playing through all those Gal games was hilarious though.
yeah, yeah, especially when he ran out of space on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure whether I can't remember, but maybe I think he did actually get cheese pizza as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read the novel. Um,
Uh, it, it actually may have been in the anime. I think there was a point where I keep forgetting her name. Misaki. I think yeah. She was sort of looking through like his computer and then she came across like some like underage girl and like Sato just like starts panicking. It's like, oh no. It's like, oh, awful feeling. God. Like I guess yeah, it is yeah, oh yeah. It's I would say yeah, it's is quite unrealistic that he doesn't know what pornography is, or that he'll just like go out to a elementary school and start taking pictures of the girls.
yeah, I mean, it like it all happens in like 2 days or something, or maybe it's not supposed to be 2 days. Maybe it's supposed to be a few months or something, but it looked that way. Who knows? Um,
It probably was like a few days, right? As far as you as far as you know, the whole series takes place over 1 year. Um, it's sort of since Sato meets Mizaki, right?
yeah. Uh, I guess I heard some people say that Sato is not a real otaku or whatever. That like uh, that only Yamazaki is a real otaku, whereas Sato is just tagging along or something like that. Do you buy that?
Yeah. To begin, yeah. Uh, in the beginning, that actually does seem to be the case because Sato like has absolutely nothing anime related in his apartment, and he only really discovers anime and things where he when he discovers Yamazaki in the opposite apartment, or I guess the apartment next to his. Like he doesn't, he doesn't even know what that character um Purin is, or whatever it's called, that like weird cat girl.
What do you think Sato's character was before he got into any of that stuff? Like, for me, to me, just seemed like he was just bored or something. Really. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
Also, I guess the reason why he's always so willing to go along with these things, oh yeah, anime and like H games exist. So yeah, I'm just gonna commit my entire life to those now. It's because he's literally directionless and he hasn't got anything better to be doing. Uh, on top of that, he's also he's probably also quite depressed as well. So he'll just go on with whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of reminded me of Janet's Daria a little bit, like especially in his flashback scenes about back when he was in high school or whatever. How he would like sort of, I don't know, look down on like people who were doing other activities or something, and
Yeah,
basically didn't do shit. Um, I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
He did go to the literature club and played cards there. I did notice the distinct lack of any literature in the literature club. Uh,
Yeah,
it was just his like it was just his senpai just telling him about conspiracy theories. Wait,
yeah. Uh, what did you make of the conspiracy theory meme?
It's all a conspiracy. I guess it's just sort of a extension of like his paranoia, right?
Um, yeah, I mean, in the novel, it is played more as like that. For example, he would like read books like about Jewish conspiracies or whatever. Um,
I wonder why they it didn't put that in the anime.
I, I think it was something like the Jewish conspiracy to destroy Japan or something, and other nonsense like that. And
Mm.
basically, it starts off with him like saying to himself that, well, um, like people just believe in these conspiracies so that they can't, so that they don't have to blame themselves for their failings or something like that. Which I don't know. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I'd say in parts. Yeah, I'd say Sato is one of the people who would believe in conspiracies because like his life is just so disinteresting, right? So uninteresting, so it's to a sort of I don't know continue on his life has to be more interesting, just so he doesn't like die of boredom or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I think isn't that what the leftists say like about us as well, though, that oh, you're just into this kind of stuff because you are an incel or whatever. Um, isn't that the same kind of reasoning?
um, maybe I guess. Well, yeah, it is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I guess. I guess. Do you think that NHK is pods?
No, no. Like he got some real values in there. He got some self-responsibility. Okay. Um, I would actually say um I mean, like, literally, the subtext, um, the solution given by given by the series of how to truly deal with a hikikomori is literally just like just to let them starve, right? Which isn't really that post. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's like some you sort of you sort of get what I mean, right?
Yeah,
If the series is paused, they've done quite a bad job of it, uh, right?
yeah. I mean, by the way, the author himself was Hikikomori when he wrote the novel, of course.
Mm, mm,
Uh, so I guess part of it must have been his experience as well. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, can you really talk about experience? I mean, you're just doing nothing at home. But like, I guess some people think that oh, it's a Naomi propaganda or something. Uh, go and be a good Naomi. Um, uh, I don't know, be a veggie in a kg or something like that. Go and be a veg cock. Uh, do you buy that criticism?
Uh, oh, I guess. Well, yeah. It kind of is Nazi propaganda, but the thing is like doing nothing all day. Like if you're a shut-in, neat, hikikomori, etc., then like you're literally doing nothing with your life, and it's just better at that point, like just to get a job, like honestly. So like even if something is normally propaganda, like it might still be good for you, just to think about it for a minute, like.
Yeah, that is true. But I think the weird thing is that there are so many otaku or whatever who say that oh it's one of their favorite series or whatever. But isn't that weird when the series is kind of criticizing them?
Uh, no, I don't think so. It's one of my favorite series now. Uh,
You
um,
you, you don't think it is criticizing people who are into these kinds of hobbies or whatever?
oh yeah, absolutely. But it's not condescending or anything, right? It's sort of, I guess that's because of the original author or something. It's just like really, it's like it's quite an honest story. And it lets it will sort of let you also be honest about your situation, right? I don't really think it's I mean, like, yeah, it is a criticism, but a lot of people will welcome criticism if it's sort of done right.
Yeah, I mean, some people just take it as another celebration of it rather than criticism. Do you think
Yeah,
that's
no, it's
weird?
the um, yeah, that is kind of weird. Like, it's definitely criticism, like all the way down.
Hmm. For example, Kino. I think Kino did say that his favorite series was NHK. Do you? I guess. What do you think of that? Given the things which he posts.
It's uh, it's uh, it's all self-aware cringe. I don't
I
know,
see.
maybe like you might enjoy a series and like it might be one of your favorites, but at the same time you might just not take anything away from it, or it might just not change you. Right? You don't like I don't follow the teachings of like Ava or anything. Like it's not as if I model my life off anime series or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I don't know, like you hear people talking about NHK and Eva or whatever, uh, like they're supposed to be life changing or something, but um, aren't isn't the point of the story of NHK that the effect of these things is overwhelmingly negative?
I guess, well, it depends on your relationship with them, right? Hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, it definitely shows them in a negative way, right? But at the same time, like, you know, as you said, it's still like there's still a contradiction there. I guess it just depends which um media you actually consume, right?
Which bit of the story do you enjoy the most?
Um, Let me think. I definitely enjoyed the first half of the series more than the second half. I'm not quite sure why. I guess maybe it was just like a novelty or something. Mm. I liked the part where Yamazaki and Sato decide to make a game and that whole. I guess what okay. I guess that's like most of the episodes. I get like I guess I could like say a scene like where Sato is sort of falling in love with M Mizaki, and so he continues to put her name in his script, where actually he should be writing Ray, and so Yamazaki's choose him out for this, and so as a result, Sato's insanity takes hold, and he decides to smash Yamazaki's computer up, to, and as Yamazaki holds on to one side of the computer. As Yamazaki holds on to one side of the computer, Sato's just like crawling up the bookshelves like with his feet. That's like that. That seems great.
Do you think that it would be enjoyable or that it would be hell to be, I don't know, to be if you were there with them then?
Um, at that point, it'll be enjoyable. I think I don't know. I like. I don't like. I'm not really sure. Like the thing about Sato is that like he's kind of living a very depressing life, but he's also like quite lucky in terms of the people who are around him. You know, literally his old school friends. He's living right next to him, right? And also this like sort of like cute, I don't know, like 17, 18-year-old girl like also likes him as well, and what's to do like shitty, meetings with them, meetings with him every day or something, right? Um, I guess I would both hate and like it as well, being in that situation.
I see. I think. Why do you think that after Yamazaki left, Sato was all down and depressed or whatever?
Because I guess because all the work he did like all year was for nothing. It was just I guess it was just like utter defeat and disappointment that basically the thing he was hoping to succeed didn't, and he's sort of back to square one basically.
Do you think that he really expected it to succeed, though?
He must have, right? Otherwise he like it wouldn't have been sad, right? He wouldn't have been disappointed with what happens.
I mean, the whole thing started off because he wanted to save face, didn't it?
Yeah, he wanted to save face with Mizaki. Uh,
Do you think? Do you think? Yeah.
Creator.
Do you think that Sato was kind of pissed off at Mizaki because Mizaki was looking down on him?
I guess it like there were a lot of misunderstandings between Mizaki and Sato. Obviously, Mizaki was looks down upon Sato awfully serious. Like, what did she call him? Like, before he was like about to attempt suicide. Like, like you're no better than like a stray dog or something. It's like, oh my god.
Hmm. Do you think that that is the reason why Sato turned down Mizaki's proposal?
Maybe. I'm just trying to think back to that point. I feel like I watched the series too fast because like a lot of these things have sort of blurred together. Yeah. She presents him with a like contract she drew up herself. Um, I guess at that point he's just like so depressed. He doesn't think he's worth it, right? Like he would just be wasting her time if he signed the contract, and it will be bad for both of them basically because he's just like he's so valueless. as a person.
What did you think of the contract itself?
Cute. Uh, um, yeah, right. I don't know. Like I'm just like that's kind of like the I don't know. Could you imagine if like a girl like actually presented you with that? It's like Jesus Christ. What do I like? What do I even do here? Like I'm gonna have to sign it, otherwise this is just gonna be awful.
Hmm. Uh, because I can remember like a lot of people like were like, oh, if that were me, I would have signed it or whatever. What the fuck is wrong with Sato? Or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
but like it also makes perfect sense that like he wouldn't like it's for the same reason why like you might you might not want to commit to something or like get married to someone, right? Because like if you're like a really shitty person, you're actually doing like the other party a disservice agreeing to that, like getting into that situation with them, right? I mean, that's as far as I can tell, that's what his rationale for declining her was.
hmm. And why do you think that at the end he kind of accept the proposal?
Um, doesn't I guess yeah, I guess he kind of does, yeah. He does accept it, right? In not so many words. Um, I
Does he just
think
think
I
that it's a
think
lap?
no, no, I don't think it's definitely not a lot, right? I guess the ending resolution is like it's better to suffer through something together, because you sort of find out that Mizaki's like is basically in the same boat as him, right? And also she's like probably like worse off than he is, right? In sort of a psychological way, right? And he doesn't really find that out until like the very end. I guess also the fact that she tries to like commit suicide as well. Probably also does a bit of convincing for him to sign the contract. Like he'll definitely convince me, right? Like if he did sign his contract, this girl's got like probably gonna kill herself. It's like, oh, all right, okay, yeah. I guess I probably should sign it at this point, right?
Who is your favorite character and why is it Yamazaki?
I was actually gonna say Yamazaki. Oh man. Because at the end Yamazaki gets carrot pilled.
I see. I knew you would say that. Because I think fucking Kino said the same thing basically. Uh,
Based.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, and, like a lot of people, w- uh, me included, I think, like the portion which they like the most is the portion in which like they are making their retarded game, even though
oh yeah,
obviously
yeah.
it's going to fail.
Mm.
Why is it fun to watch that?
It's just I it's why is it fun to watch like an absolute like garbage fire on the screen? I guess. I don't know.
I see. What did you make of the childhood friend or whatever?
Oh, senpai.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually does have a name, but I've forgotten it. Predictably. Um, I don't know. Like to me, she was sort of a one-note character. Basically, I'm super paranoid. I'm having second thoughts about my relationships. I'm gonna like fucking kill myself now or something. And then things get re resolved for her, and she gets married and has a kid, presumably. Right? I would like I didn't really find it that interesting. I guess the interesting parts about her was how she made Sato feel, right? When he's sort of reminiscing about her.
Yeah, I mean, I really found it fucking funny when like if Sato was trying to not kill himself till the end, but then I mean
Yeah.
on that island.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was so good because he slowly works out that he has more of a reason to kill himself than like anyone around him.
Uh, I do you think that the commentary is a bit too thick? The social commentary, like, oh, now let's have an episode where he gets addicted to MMOs or whatever. Um, did it feel like that to you?
Not really. I enjoyed every second of the series, and even the parts I couldn't quite understand.
What
Not
couldn't
really.
you
It just
understand?
well, there's like one bit that needs explaining to me, and it's the point at the end after Sato saves Mizaki, he then goes crazy and decides to throw himself off the cliff. It's like, what, I mean, what's up with that?
I think, wasn't it something like he wanted to like put the blame on this outside thing,
Yeah,
basically.
but like, there's also a cliff there, and if you jump off that cliff, you're gonna die, Sato. Like, was it like, was he just like super high at that point, and like he was just like hallucinating
I
or
don't think
something?
I don't think he was hallucinating. No. Um,
Mm.
there was a point at which he was hallucinating early in the series, back when after Yamazaki left, or what? No, or maybe I'm not sure, but I think that they both get high and they think that they are God or something, or whatever.
Yeah,
Y-
I vaguely
You must have heard
can
of it,
think of where
maybe.
that would be.
Uh,
Yeah, I also
uh,
like I also imagine Sato got high after Yamazaki left because that's like a weird cat statue he leaves him like starts talking to him.
yeah, I think that's when, yeah. Um,
Mm.
I- what else is there to say? I mean, the ending. Mm, I mean, it's yeah. I guess it doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, why would Misaki not jump to afterwards? Um. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all about. I think. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure that Misaki had any fucking idea about what the fuck Sato was doing. Um.
No, yes, she also looked very confused when he decided to kill himself. Like, it was like what on earth are you doing, Sato?
I think basically he wanted to die saving Misaki or something. Uh, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
it's not like I guess it's a little bit like I think it was Yamazaki who said it that well we are not in a position to have
yeah.
like
To
a
to
um,
die dramatically.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I
Well,
guess
he literally doesn't, right? He like
yeah.
he lands on like some like hard grating and just like hurts himself badly instead.
Mm, yeah, and
What's interesting? Something I appreciated about that moment, even though I didn't really understand his motivations in that particular part. was the fact that he was kind of working for that company who literally built that grating, right? So it's like in a weird way, like him getting that job, in a very sort of nebulous sense, like saved him, right?
Do you know that the NHK exists?
Yeah, yeah, it's like a broadcasting company, right?
It's basically the BBC.
Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. He just sort of changes the words around and things, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I guess uh, if Sato was British, he would believe, I don't know, in a conspiracy that the BBC was trying to destroy Britain or something, something like that. Uh, yeah. What do you make of Yamazaki's character arc? Should he have just stayed back home and not tried to do anything, like just followed the plan laid out for him?
Follow
Why
the
did he have a
plan.
yeah? Why did he have a
Um,
problem with it anyway? Like with the plan laid out for him.
I guess like I guess because he was this sort of like any agency or sort of free will like he may have had was a sort of taken away from him. And like I guess you don't really want to be stuck on it like in the same place forever. You want to like at least have a chance to move on or have a way out. I guess he just sort of felt trapped, right? And he wanted more from his life.
But in the end, he was mistaken, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's
In the end, okay, because as you um as you know, he forgot about one crucial part of the plan, and that's a crucial part is cute wife.
but he did have a cute girlfriend in Tokyo as well, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, but it's not like she was that interested, right?
Yeah, I think yeah she wasn't that interested. But I think I don't know like she tried to be open minded when
Yeah.
uh, I
It
kind of
was
felt so.
it was a little late at that point though, fortunately.
I see.
She got to experience she got the full Yamazaki experience.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. With Yamazaki, there are so many fucking funny moments. Uh,
Yeah.
when he like puts on the Kamen Rider whatever mask on his face and it says, what did he say about women? I can't remember. Um,
It,
something
it's
not
it's
no, no
like women go away or something. It's like
something. Yeah.
yeah. Ah,
uh, yeah. Poor
oh,
Sato. Um, yeah. Personally, I found the story just a little bit boring after Yamazaki left. Um, I don't know. He kind of added to the
he
insanity.
did, yeah. He did. That's probably why I like the first half of the series better than the latter half. I think also a part of that um would be the fact that they decide to change the intros and outros, right? It's sort of I don't know. I liked OP1 and ED1 over OP2 and ED2.
I can't even remember what OP2 and ED2 were. And
Yeah, exactly.
I, I I think. Do you think that it was less comedic as well? Like after Yamazaki left?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
definitely. You wouldn't get any um young photography, let's say, after a point.
yes, that is true. Kino wouldn't like that.
He wouldn't know.
Uh, I guess. Do you think that NHK had any influence on other anime or anything really? Does it have any legacy?
Maybe. It'll be like, yeah, I would say most likely. But I wouldn't really be able to think of anything. I guess, I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to notice anything because like it was literally 2 days ago where I finished watching this series. So I guess now that I'm looking for this stuff, I'll be able to see it elsewhere. I could talk about references in the series, right? Sort of
Okay.
references the series makes, sort of shows and media and things. Like I think everyone could sort of spot the Evangelion reference, sort of after Yamazaki leaves, and like all like his old acquaintances sort of appear to him under a spotlight, right? That's uh, that's quite a big one, and stuff like posters he has in his room, references. Did you notice? Did you notice anything?
No, not really. I wasn't really. I think like when I watched it, I wasn't really that much of of a weeb, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's I so I can't remember that many references. What do you think of Miss? Because I think, and also I think my memories are kind of mixed with the manga as well. And what did you think of Misaki's character arc?
Um, it was perfectly fine, I guess. They actually completed the arc, which was good. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. For most of the series, she's just this mysterious figure you don't really know anything about. Like at the very beginning, you sort of assume she's like this sort of unreal supernatural figure, basically. When you see the actual first counseling session with Sato, and she sort of like has this handwritten contract and things, and she says these childish things like I'm gonna fine you 1,000,000 yen if you're ever late or something. Um, it's like it becomes kind of obvious that that she doesn't really know what she's doing, um, and has other reasons and motivations for doing for doing things.
by the way, in the manga, like she says that like even the backstory which she tells Sasho uh, back then, back up on that in that shack or whatever. Like
Mm,
even that apparently is a lie. At least in the manga, that's what she says. So so she's still a
uh,
mysterious character in the manga till the end. I thought that was kind of shit writing. I mean, the manga in general is kind of worse because rather than like becoming a construction worker or whatever, Sato goes back to his parents' home, and I think gets some online jobs or whatever as a creative or whatever guy or whatever as a
mm.
blogger or something. I thought
Okay,
that was much less
wink.
yeah, that was much less convincing that
Yeah,
than what happened in the anime.
yeah. I
And
couldn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
I mean, I
well.
think yeah, the anime is basically the best version. Given that there's going to be a sequel, I mean, what do you think that they
Mm.
could even add to this? I mean, it's is there anything
Yeah,
more to say?
it felt like a complete story. Like I wouldn't be able to add anything. I guess maybe like I could add like a few episodic bits in the middle somewhere. But like that'll be it, and it will just be sort of a little bit lame. Yeah, it just yeah, I don't really understand why you would add add to that story because yeah, it just seems like it's sort of done really.
Earlier, I said that I went on my anime list to see what are the recommendations for people who have watched NHK. What are the things to watch? And the other things Tatami Galaxy, Genshiken, Steins Gate. It's not my fault. It's your fault. I'm not popular or something. So basically, there really isn't any other anime like NHK.
Oh
But
no, yeah, yeah. This anime is truly special.
but I think the question is whether like you could even make another anime with this premise, or do you think that it's done? You can't really extend it to anything else. Like like
It's
it,
well, if the author wants needs more money, hilariously, they could just continue on with Sato and Mizaki's like storylines, I guess. And you could have like a romance anime between the two of them or something.
that sounds so fucking boring.
Oh yeah, yeah, but it would be that's kind of the only real logical continuation, right? What else are you gonna do?
Unless yeah, unless
I guess you could do the Carrot Pill anime with Yamazaki, which would be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I think Yamazaki does still keep all of his fucking games though. Um, at least
Yeah,
according to
obviously,
Kino. No,
obviously.
yeah, obviously, yeah. I was more asking in terms of like for example, you have different genres of anime,
Mm.
and you have anime which have started different genres, but and then you have anime which are basically just a one-off thing. Because you can't really expand that premise any further than. Uh, so, for example, if you think about high school, uh, after school club anime, like there's so many, and like that
Yeah.
premise can be like uh, being tweaked and tweaked on and on to get different results. But do you think that the premise of NHK that you could do such like not basically rewrite NHK, but use the same premise, but in a different kind of story. Like, what do you think the possibilities are?
All right. Okay. So picture this. Okay. You
Kind of a
have
joke.
you have a shut-in neat. Okay. He's coming home after he bought his like latest H game or like something. And then
Oh,
what's that in the distance he sees? He sees a girl about to be run over. He runs in to save the girl. Unfortunately, he gets hit by a truck,
oh God! It's not a
and thus
fucking NHK.
and thus he
It's
gets
it's an
transported
isekai. Oh
to
no!
another world where all his
All
dreams
right.
come true. I'm personally picturing some sort of medieval setting, but also like kind of like kind of a
Very
bit like a
original.
video game. You know what you know what I mean. And
Speaking of video games, what did you think of the game which Yamazaki and Sato made? Can you remember anything about it?
it looks all right, I guess. I don't know really. You don't really see much of that game. All you really know is that you're sort of in a high school and you can sort of romance like one girl. and maybe you can like change your outfit at the end, right? I think that they just made the game so you can only like romance one character, right? So like it doesn't seem great.
Yeah, sounds pretty generic. I mean, but
Uh,
do you remember the meme where like they try to come up with a character, so they used up all the unique
yeah. Oh,
and
yes. Ghosts. Mummified. Blue heads. Lolly.
cripple.
Uh, yeah. Zombie. yeah, it's good. That was good. And yeah, and who is it? Yamazaki shows Sato the design, and yeah, and she's like crippled and got like and like those haunted things. It's just like this is unusable. Ah,
I think that they try to sell it at Comiket if I'm not mistaken, right? I think, or maybe it's just Yamazaki who tries to do that just by himself.
yeah,
Uh,
I don't think Sato would ever. I know Sato does turn up for the winter events, but not the summer events. Or maybe oh no, aren't they? Oh yeah. It's just Yamazaki with the demo game for the summer event, and like everyone throws it back in his face because it's just like it's some shitty, overpriced demo game. And then in the winter events, they sell like 5 copies. Even though the prices are vastly reduced and and the game is quote unquote complete at that point as well.
mm. Do you think that it failed because Sato wasn't like it wasn't into it, or do you think um like it was basically going to be a failure anyway? Uh,
I think it was like you get the impression that it's just going to be a failure anyway because they're both amateurs, right? They've never done this sort of thing before. They don't have any experience. Like all the experience Sato has is attending half of like one lesson where where he's just sort of ran out of the lesson like screaming basically
uh,
after he wrote down his game pitch.
oh, what do you make of the reaction? What do you make of that scenario and the reaction to that scenario which that teacher or whatever had to it?
Uh, it was and the game scenario Sato came up with was pretty funny, right? So I probably would have done the same thing as the teacher in that in that situation, uh, because like Sato unfortunately just didn't understand what he was doing. Uh, um, I guess like obviously Sato has like his own issues being around people as well, so that would have just like done him in.
Mm. What was the scenario anyway? I can't remember. Was it something about like being in the uh, a man and a woman in the countryside or something, and nothing fucking
Yeah,
happens?
yeah, and it's not a woman, but a omnipresent spirit, which calms him in all his daily activities. The end.
What the fuck? All right.
Uh,
Um, I think what was Yamazaki training to be a voice actor? Or, no, that was his girlfriend. What
yeah,
was
yeah, he was
Yamazaki?
he wanted to create games, didn't he? He was becoming a programmer.
I see. Hmm. What else is there to talk about? I guess. Um, by the way, it may sound strange given like how religion is portrayed in NHK, but I think that the author joined some Christian cult or whatever after he wrote the novel or something. You'll
Okay.
find that surprising.
Yes. What? Yeah. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there's nothing in the anime I could see that would that sort of screams Christianity to me. Like, if anything, it's like it's about the exact opposite thing, right? I mean, like all of Sato's activities are these sort of like lustful, sort of impatient, instinctive sort of activities, and like I don't know.
I mean,
I guess
do you,
I guess because it's presented in like a negative light, maybe. But I don't know. Like, it doesn't really make it doesn't make that much sense that he would join a Christian cult afterwards.
I guess I mean, like from what we could see, like in the religious cult or whatever which they showed, and maybe I'm mixing up the memories from the novels, the manga, and the anime. But I remember that that there's this side character that Yamazaki and Sato go to this meeting, to this religious meeting, and everybody acts nice to them. But
Mm. That's not.
then
Yeah,
that's nothing.
yeah, that's not in the anime. So,
I see. So
ah,
basically one of the people there from the cult or whatever come and talk to Sato and Yamazaki and tell them like well they may act nice now to get you in, but once you get in it's like any other society, like um, just because it's religious don't expect that people are going to be people anyway, so um, it's all the same everywhere. Something like that, cynical like that.
okay. So, if anything, it now actually makes less sense that he would join v- v- religious cult afterwards as well.
Yeah, it makes less sense. Do you think that Misaki was actually helping Sato?
Yeah, yeah. Like there is a few things like he can obviously go out for longer after she starts helping him. Um, I guess I don't really think it was her counselling that did much help because Sato wasn't really taking it seriously. He probably just turned up because she was like some cute girl or something. But I think just the fact that he was getting out of his apartment on a regular basis probably helped him.
I guess. Do you think that Sato was looking down on Misaki? Oh, she can't help me. She's too retarded or something.
Uh, no, no, I think Sato was like all the time conscious of the fact that it was Mizaki looking down on him, right? I don't think it was ever really the other way around. Otherwise, Sato wouldn't have felt like insecure in relation to her in these sort of like meetings and things.
Hmm. I guess. What else is there to talk about? We talked about Misaki. We talked. Did we talk enough about Sato? Um.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we did.
Yeah. I mean, one of the first things which, at least on my first viewing, um, one of the things which I misremembered is that in that MMO arc, if you want to call it that.
Mm.
Um, remember when Yamazaki basically catfishes
Oh
Sa-
yeah, oh man, yeah, that's like so good. Absolutely destroyed. Ah,
and afterwards, Yamazaki tells him to imagine even if you can like make a living as a real money trading RMT. Um,
yeah.
like what kind of lifestyle is that going to be? For some reason, the first time that I watched it, I remembered it as well. That's if you fail or something like that.
Mm,
Uh, the funny thing, of course, is that there are a bunch of people making a living at real money trading, even though it is illegal in most cases. I think
yeah.
mostly not here, but in places like Venezuela, um,
Mm,
or whatever. Because like
yeah.
literal fucking video game money is worth more than than their own
Uh,
currency.
yep, I believe that, especially in Venezuela
Yeah,
after
yeah,
after their inflation meme that happened.
yes. Especially RuneScape is full of Venezuelans
Mm.
selling gold or
That's
whatever.
yeah, that's a very interesting, isn't it? The fact that this stuff sort of happens. Yeah.
Hmm. As for anime similar to this, I mean, there's anime which talk about otaku culture or whatever, but it's always um, it's not. It's always not in a realistic way. I think at least in
No.
a less pessimistic way. I think Genshiken kind of has the right balance. Or like on the one hand, uh, Genshiken is about a bunch, basically a university anime club, basically, and they just explore different aspects of otaku culture in a kind of a neutral way. Uh, but other than that, it's all. You must have watched Otaku no Video, right?
No.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I think
Should I watch or take on a video?
it's one of the earliest anime by Gainax, before it became Gainax. So you probably should, but it's nothing that great. Um,
Okay, right.
but it's good. It's good. Yeah, you might like it. Uh,
All right.
it's
Yeah.
it's basically about a Nomi um, finding otaku shit and abandoning all of his. Yeah, why not? Yeah, watch it. It's just two episodes, and this time it's not as long as uh,
Area
it's
88.
88. Yeah, it's not that long, and there are some very interesting live action bits in there as well. So there are the
Oh,
animated
interesting.
bits and the live action bits. So the animated bits show a glorified version of a bunch of otaku creating their company or whatever Gainax basically, and
Mm,
and then the live action bits are also fake, but they are basically interviews, stage interviews with otaku, quote unquote. Um, I mean, they're all actors as far as I'm aware, or maybe there might be some real otaku in there as well. And yeah,
spot the otaku. Oh,
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
all right, yeah. Well, I'll watch that one for next time then. We can talk about it
Yeah, I mean,
Saturday
yeah,
next week then.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we've talked about the NHK to death at this point, right? Unless there's anything else. I mean, I've probably missed something, I'm probably going to kick myself afterwards for not mentioning certain aspects. But I think we've exhausted this topic for now. Right.
I mean, I guess there are some anime which are similar to NHK, but like um, this. I think Great Teacher Onizuka, is sort of like this in the way that like I mean, there's anime about like a character coming to save the protagonist or something like that, but it's still too different. Yeah, it's still a different thing.
Yeah.
They use, for
Yeah.
example, sorry, go on.
Oh God. No, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just
I mean, there's a bunch of older anime and Japanese TV shows that are about like some kind of a super teacher, uh, basically straightening out and solving all the personal problems of the students. Uh, and I think it's sort of NHK sort of like comes from that sort of story because it's basically about Misaki trying to save Sato or something. Yeah, but it doesn't really work out that way. Um,
yeah, no. Well, yeah. I guess. Welcome to the AHK. Makes a lot of self references. Um, but also at the same time sort of addresses problems in this area directly. And is also on top of that to make it even more sort of niche. It's also anti-escapist, quote unquote, right? It's that sort of I guess objective of the series that makes it unique from the start, right? That's how it can be summarized.
yes, and there haven't been that many copycats, and to be honest, I can't see how they could expand the concept either. Um,
No, I guess the best you could do is sort of copy the story, basically, or copy the backbone of the story and just sort of bring it into the 20s and just sort of update all the references, right?
yeah,
What
because
was I
like
gonna say?
if you add any more tropes or whatever, like it's just going to become like yet another fantasy, basically. If you add
Yeah,
any more tropes than there are already, and if you remove like all the humor or whatever, I think it's just going to become dull and preachy. I'm like because I think
yeah,
the reason that it doesn't feel that preachy and like that even people who call themselves otaku can and who are like all in on this thing can enjoy it is because of all the humor. Like it's funny. So
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
like
It's also written it's also sort of made, written and also for Itaku as well. So it's sort of I'm not good like it's basically sort of it provides a safe way to do some introspection about yourself as well.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I do sometimes wonder. Like, I mean, it's still a celebration of the same thing. It sometimes it does feel like that, but maybe I'm just a bit too cynical or whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, it's fine, I guess.
It's fine. It's a great series. That's what
Yeah, it is.
that's my closing remark. Um, Good series. Uh, if you're not a normie, you should probably watch it. Or something. Yeah, all right. I need to go now. It was good talking to you about this anime.
Yeah, it was good. All
Right,
right.